The seeker clutched the ancient book, its leather cover cold under his fingertips. It was filled with tales of vampires, each story a fresh wound on his soul. Each night he read, the line between myth and reality blurred. Tonight he would learn the truth behind the curse, the dark secret hidden in the heart of Transylvania. In the shadow of the Carpathian Mountains, there was a village that feared the night. The people never spoke loudly after sunset. Doors were bolted, windows sealed with garlic, and crucifixes hung in every home. For centuries, whispers haunted their bloodline, the whispers of Count Dracula. Legends said he was not born a monster, but cursed by his own choices. The truth was far darker than the villagers knew. Long ago, Vlad Dracula was a noble warrior prince. He fought many wars for his land, a land that is now Romania. He was ruthless. Some say he dipped his bread in blood. Others claim he flayed his enemies alive. Even his allies feared him, for Vlad held court in a fortress of shadows, always shrouded in mist. But his downfall was not on the battlefield, nor was it caused by his own hand. It was in love. He adored a woman named Elisabeta, whose beauty was said to rival the moonlight. She was gentle, pure, and saw kindness in him that others never did. Then one day, during a brutal war, word spread that Vlad had been killed in battle. Unable to bear the thought of life without him, she threw herself from the castle tower into the river below. When Vlad returned victorious 3 days later, he found her lifeless body washed ashore. Grief turned to rage when priests told him she had committed a sin by taking her own life, condemning her soul to eternal damnation. Vlad refused to accept this. He cursed God and the church, tearing down the crucifix before him. In that moment of blasphemy, something unholy answered. Shadows gathered around him, whispers tempted him, and an eternal thirst burned his veins. He drank blood for the first time from a chalice filled with darkness itself. Thus, Vlad Dracula became the first cursed vampire. His bite was unlike any wound. His victims were not just drained of life, but drained of hope, trapped between life and death. But the curse was heavier on him than on anyone else. For every soul he consumed, he saw Elisabeta's face in their final breath. Her eyes haunted him, reminding him of what he had lost. Yet he could not stop. Hunger was stronger than love, stronger than guilt. And so he built a kingdom of shadows. His castle loomed like a fang over the valley, ever hungry, ever thirsty. The villagers called it the Fortress of the Damned. But stories often fade into the hum of daily life. Centuries passed, and Dracula's legend became folklore. Yet legends never truly die. They are carried on the wind, waiting for the right ear to listen. In the modern age, Jonathan Harker, a historian, arrived in Transylvania to research the truth behind every vampire curse. He was skeptical, believing vampires to be symbolic myths. But the locals warned him never to approach the castle after dusk. Driven by curiosity and a thirst for knowledge, Harker ignored their pleas. He trekked through mist-filled forests where the moon seemed unnaturally large. Around him, bats swarmed, and wolves howled in unison, as if guiding him. Finally, he stood before the iron gates of Castle Dracula. Inside, time felt broken. Candle flames flickered against ancient stone walls. Long tapestries showed battles of Vlad Dracula drenched in red threads that looked like veins. The air smelled of old earth and something coppery, like dried blood. At the grand hall's end sat Count Dracula himself, pale, tall. His presence was both regal and terrifying. His eyes glowed like embers, and when he spoke, his voice was velvet over steel. "You seek truth," Dracula said, "but truth is more dangerous than myth." Over wine, or what Harker thought was wine, Dracula revealed his curse. He told of Elisabeta, of betrayal by faith, and of the thirst that chained him. He admitted he longed for release, but could not die. The curse was eternal. "The bite you fear," Dracula whispered, "is not a gift of immortality, is a chain. Those I bite carry fragments of my pain, bound to my hunger, never free." That is the truth behind every vampire curse. As Dracula spoke, Harker felt his heartbeat quicken. He realized the chalice before him was not filled with wine, but with blood. And worse, he realized he had already taken a sip. Dracula leaned closer. "You came seeking knowledge. Now you shall become knowledge." With supernatural swiftness, Dracula's fangs sank into Harker's neck. Pain, fire, and cold surged together. But alongside the agony came visions Elisabeta's face, the screams of thousands of victims, and the endless hunger of the cursed. Harker collapsed, his body half dead, half awake. He was no longer human, yet not fully vampire. He had become what Dracula described a fragment of the curse. In his last moment of human thought, Harker realized Dracula's greatest torment. He was not only cursed to live forever, but cursed to spread his suffering. Every new vampire was another echo of Elisabeta's death. The curse was not about power, but about grief multiplied eternally. Dracula stood over Harker, whispering, "Now you understand. This is why the world must fear the bite. For behind every vampire curse, there is a broken heart that never heals." And as the torches flickered out, the castle drowned once more in eternal night.